Hi, folks. So yes, I'm from the Faculty of Medicine Health Media Lab, which is just up the road at Anderson Stewart. And there's a bunch of us there. We look at emerging tech and we try to work out how we can use it in our teaching practice. We sort of look at all sorts of technology. Obviously, today's topic is AI. We do a bit in VR and AR as well. I just wanted to give you an example of the sort of use that we've made of talking avatars in medicine and health. We were asked to look at the problem of violence in emergency departments, which is, a worldwide problem and an increasing problem. If you're not familiar with that world, there's a bit of CCTV footage of the sort of thing that routinely happens in emergency departments for reasons that you may or may not know. The patient kicks off and needs to be restrained. There's usually a coordinated response to make sure the patient's looked after and the staff are looked after. These events happen customarily in that environment. So we took the view that nipping it in the bud was the best solution. And we started to think about how we could maybe give our graduating students who are going to enter that environment a little bit of a head start at acquiring some of the skill set around dealing with an aggressive patient or someone who was looking like they were going to become aggressive. So we did this about the year before last, before ChatGPT went public. We're working with ChatGPT earlier versions, and we developed this character whose father has been kept waiting for a very long time, and you have to talk to him. So this is a screen capture of that interaction.
Hi, Louis. We've had some complaints from the nurses that you've been quite abusive. What's going on?
Bit of a swear warning here.
My dad needs to see a fucking doctor.
I understand that, Louis. The doctors have been really busy with other emergencies.
How much longer is it going to be?
Look, things are settling down a bit now. I'll go have a talk to the doctors and hopefully we'll be able to get someone to see you soon.
This is unacceptable. I'm about to lose my shit.
I understand your frustration, Louis, but you can't talk to us like that. I will go and see if a doctor can see your dad very soon.
Don't lie to me. How long will it really be?
I'm not lying, Louis. It should be really soon.
All right, I'll just sit here then.
So you can see it's a bit laggy, but if you say compassionate things and you model good behavior, he gets calmer. And if you say uncompassionate things, he gets more angry. The person who holds the record for accelerating him to 100% aggressive, the quickest, was a psychiatrist. Don't know if there's a correlation there. 2 sentences it took. So there's a bit of back end there to get that conversation to progress, and that took quite a lot of resource to get working. The thing that I wanted to talk about today is that just how easy it's become to do this. You can do what we did there in half an hour these days. So for example, here's one that one of our students built, who Anderson Stewart, who was the person who actually founded the medical school here at the University of Sydney, and came up with this character that you can talk. This is a screen capture from me talking to it yesterday. How are you today?
Feeling quite well today, thank you. Now let's continue our tour and explore the fascinating history of the building and the remarkable research conducted within its walls.
Could you tell me what sort of research you conducted, please, sir?
I dedicated my research to various aspects of anatomy, such as the closure of the larynx, the structure of the eyeball, and the effects of nickel and cobalt on animals.
What did you discover about the structure of the eyeball?
The staining techniques allowed us to visualize the gross structures of the eyeball and understand its function, including the role of the hyaloid canal in distance accommodation. Fascinating discoveries indeed.
You were very involved in the establishment of the medical school at the University of Sydney. Could you tell me about that, please?
Yes, I founded the University of Sydney Medical School in 1882. It was a culmination of my devotion to education and advancing medical knowledge.
What were the greatest challenges you faced?
My greatest challenges were overcoming opposition and forging ahead with my vision for the school, despite facing criticism and resistance from certain individuals.
Thank you for telling me about that. I appreciate your time. I'm always very polite to chat
You're
to you.
welcome, Martin.
Oh.
It was my pleasure to share this information with you.
Thanks. I'm always very polite to them because when they take over, you know, you want to be in the good books. Another example. So we wanted to have a anatomy tutor for some of our anatomy students. So this is a little grab of one that, again, one of our students developed. Are you able to help me with some anatomy questions?
Oh, absolutely. I'd be more than happy to help you with your anatomy questions. What specific topics or concepts do you need assistance with?
Could you please tell me what are the branches of the vagus nerve?
The vagus nerve has several branches, including the recurrent laryngeal nerve, auricular branch, pharyngeal branch, and cardiac branches. Is there anything else you'd like to know about it?
Yes, my next question is, which nerve innervates the bicep?
I'm glad you asked. The biceps brachii muscle is innervated by the musculocutaneous nerve. It arises from the lateral cord of the brachial plexus. Anything else you'd like to learn about anatomy?
No, that's all at the moment, but thanks for your help.
You're welcome. If you have any more questions or if there's anything else you'd like to chat about, feel free to ask. I'm here to help and have a good chat.
So obviously you can get ChatGPT to act as a character. You can just instruct it and put in a block of text with background, and you can ask it to behave as a character in a type chat relationship. I come from a theatre and film background, so I think characters are more engaging and you can have these interactions. What we've kind of managed to do there really though is to get a chatty textbook. So you can ask it questions. The next frontier for us that we want to work on is to use it more the way Khan Academy does, where it's a tutor that doesn't give you the answers. So it'll side coach you. Have you considered? Why didn't you look at? What else would you consider using as a strategy? Are you able to? So the thing that we're very interested in is how to make these things scalable, how you can do this. And the platform we found was called InWorld. That's the address. And it's designed to create what are called non-player characters. So if you're designing a game, you walk up to somebody in that game and ask them for tips, they'll be able to give you advice on what to do next in the game. We use it to create these characters. So I'll just very quickly flash through a few screen grabs of what it looks like. It's a free site to sign up for. There's a whole bunch of stock characters. You can just create a new one. I put in, here's a tutor who coaches undergraduate students in medical science, and it auto-generated one for me and filled in that text. Then you have various areas that you can add in more depth of understanding to it. You can have create the voice, blunt, inquisitive, commanding, empathetic. Obviously ours is quite chatty. You can then decide all sorts of aspects about what sort of person it is, how fast it talks, the pitch, all that sort of stuff. You can add common knowledge, so it's going outside the information you've given it to bring into the conversation. You can also then see if you can have it have a history. One of the things that we're working on at the moment is a patient presenting with domestic violence, potentially a domestic violence situation at home. And so we want to give our graduating students rehearsal in that very difficult conversation. So that conversation needs to progress over time because you need to earn trust in order for it to be effective. So you can build that into using this interface. So that's about it. We've developed these avatars already for taking a patient history. That's an easy one. Our friends in dentistry developed one of those. We're looking at all sorts of new applications where you can have a more engaged, it's not for everyone, it doesn't solve all the problems you have, but where you want to have that character available, you just create the character, copy the URL, the student has a free account and they enter that URL and they can chat to that bot that you've developed. So you could make a clone of yourself, and it could answer all those dumb questions that you get in Canvas all the time, and it'll patiently and politely keep on answering those questions. That's one use that we can see. The news is that it's very easy, and you can do it. We've done it with lecturers who come and see us. We help them. They're making their own characters in about half an hour. That's how far this technology's come in the last year. So I just wanted to fill you in about that. Thanks for your time.